What does it mean to be selfless? Does anyone truly know? Does anyone truly understand all the sacrifices that accompany being selfless? Or what it feels like to love someone so fierce that the moment you meet, the moment you even begin to exist in their life, they vow to love you forever? They vow to love you without circumstances? They vow to fight your battles no matter the size of the giant? They promise to try to understand even when they don't, or to go without so that you and others can go with? Can anyone fathom the amount of strength that takes? How heavy the weight of those lifelong blood promises can be? Does anyone understand the true length of eternity the way a mother does? I know my mom would never ask me to thank her for every moment of my life. I know that everything she has done from the moment I entered her life has been without the expectation of anything in return. But just because she would never ask doesn't mean I don't want to. I'd like to take this time to reminisce a bit. I have so much to be grateful for. When God was picking out a mother for me, I was blessed to be given an angel. I have been alive for 22 years, and during my time on this earth, I have never met anyone with a sweeter heart. I've had my fair share of run-ins with amazing people, but I have never met anyone like her. Today I would like to highlight a few specific attributes about her. Keyword being highlight, because there's not enough video storage in the world for me to even finish talking about the love, respect, and appreciation I feel for her in my heart. I plan on talking about her character, her impact, and her values in correlation to my family. The love of a mother is unmatched. The love of my mother is untouchable. I think that oftentimes it is easy for us to become so accustomed to how amazing our parents or guardians may be that we forget just how kind and selfless everything they do is. I think that during times like this, where families are all quarantined together, you begin to realize how lucky you are to have the people beside you in your life. My mother is the epitome of the word fierce, of the word strong. Everything she has ever done, every stern talk, every court battle, every cuddle, every hug, and middle school pep talk has been done with such a fierce passion that no matter what she says or what she's doing, you never doubt her. Whether it was believing that you were beautiful just the way you are, or that you were smarter than you thought you were, or that you were special and loved. You couldn't even begin to doubt yourself, because doing so would be doubting her, and she was never wrong. My mother is the type of person who walks into a room full of people and everyone immediately goes in for a hug. All the neighborhood kids were always welcome in my house. Anyone who needed someone to talk to did. Anyone who needed a mom, a hug, or even a good meal was allowed in. The amount of people who called her mom or aunt who weren't related by blood is vast. But that is one of the loveliest things about my mother. With her, everyone is welcome. With her, everyone is family. She is the type of woman who is allergic to cats, but anytime she saw a stray, would take it home until we found it a home. My parents have 6 kids total, but with custody of my cousins, it always felt like more. We had one essential rule that as kids were more than happy to live by, and that is, one gets some, all get some. Growing up, my mother instilled in us that everyone was to be treated equal. That in this house, we were always to be fair, so if one child got some of anything, we could all get some too. This applied to candy, treats, etc. Let's say one child asked my parents if they could buy something for them, or if they could get a certain sweet before dinner, then everyone could too. If one person asked to do something and my mom said yes, we could all do it. For example, we love to climb on the walls in our house. We would put cushions on the floor and climb up the doorways or hallways and jump down. We would pretend to be Spider-Man or act like the floor was lava. Or if one person wanted to roller skate, but it was too hot outside during the summer and she said that they could skate in the house, then everyone could too. If one person was scared and wanted to sleep in her bed, the rest of us would pile in too. Even if we didn't properly fit, even if we weren't scared, she just raised us all to be really close. A house full of 8 to 10 kids may seem like a lot to handle, but she made it all seem so easy. There were so many summers where neighborhood kids basically lived at our house because they'd stayed over and spent the night for most of it. There were times on Halloween where our house was full of teenage and children-age friends stopping by as a sort of check-in point to eat pizza and rest before going back out for round 2. When my mother said that everyone was welcome, she meant it. When I say she is the most thoughtful person I know, I mean it. I don't even have to say I need help. She just looks at me and she knows. I'm deathly allergic to nuts, but as a child, I was careless with what I ate. I didn't know how to speak up at school or even anywhere when I needed help. I just sort of suffered until I reached her. She always knew. I have anxiety, and I used to have really bad and frequent panic attacks, which leave me feeling down on myself. But she was always right there holding my hand during the rebuild. I don't have to say anything either. All I do is go up to her for a hug, and she'd hold me so tight that I felt like all of my pieces were whole. Even now, even still. Whenever one of us had problems at school with losing friends or being bullied, she always knew. We would come home from school, gather in the living room, and each person would have a chance to talk about their day. Even if we didn't say something bad, she knew. She would suggest we bake cookies and watch a few movies before doing homework and really snuggle whichever kid was feeling down. Sometimes, if that didn't work, she would excuse that kid from school the next day and spend it entirely with them so that they would have a one-on-one time. Eventually, we would open up about it. She always knew we would. I asked a few of my siblings to record some clips of them talking about our mom.
My mother is an incredibly humble woman. She showed love to all the kids in the neighborhood who never felt love before. She's the definition of selfless service. She was always there for everybody, and she was always there for me, and that's why I love her.
I like how nurturing my mom is.
Tell me something you love about Mom.
She's very honest. She tells you like it is. Let me think, what else? She's very loving. That she is. She's very, very loving. I mean, I would trade that woman for the world.
I remember back in Halloween of 2005, we had just met you guys, and she welcomed us with open arms. She took care of us. She always made sure we were okay, like Mom, and ever since then she's been just an amazing woman. She's always been there by our side, always looked out for us when we needed somebody, and I'm just very grateful to have her in my life. And it's like my second mom. She took care of me, my brothers, and growing up, it was just good to have that role model.
Tell me something you love about Mom.
Her personality.
What about it?
She's very funny.
I love how nurturing she is.
My mother was a rock star. I'm on a time limit, so I cannot go into as much detail as I'd like to, but I hope that by touching on her character, her values, and her impact, you felt her love too. I want to personally thank all the super moms out there, especially mine. I do not have enough words in my vocabulary to properly express my gratitude, but I would like to say thank you, Mom. I love you.